There are many clues animals leave when living their lives to identify them. The clues can be trails, tracks, scats, markings, and other indicators they have left. This example is one of a woodpecker making holes in trees. Woodpeckers do this to feed on sap and insects in search of food or to create a nesting site. The animals that did this can easily be identified as a woodpecker because they have visible holes in the trees. They also live in forest-dense areas.
The most well-recognized type of sign left by passing animals are footprints. These are generally referred to as tracks. Tracks are generally made by the feet, but may also include marks left by the tail. In clear tracks, species can be distinguished by a combination of size, shape, and distinct features of the feet. Depending on the substrate, tracks may be clear and recognizable down to the specific species or group, or may just be compressions in coarse debris. In the later case, the track patterns can help you figure out what likely species left these marks. Some of the most common substrates that can leave clear tracks are snow, silty mud, and sand.
We have encountered many tracks such as squirrel, chipmunk, bunny, deer, dog, and possibly black bear and coyote tracks.
Trails are larger patterns left by passing animals. Ideally, these might be sets of clear tracks in particular arrangements that demonstrate the speed and style of movement of the animal. These patterns of tracks come together to form a line of tracks, known as a trail. Where clear tracks are hard to see, look for broken vegetation or packed down soil where an animal has passed by repeatedly. This is also considered to be a kind of trail. Tunnels and burrows. Subsurface trails are known as tunnels. Whether they are made under leaf, litter, snow, or soil, the diameter of the entrance to such tunnel can help determine the species that created it or uses said tunnel. Burrows are tunnels that provide shelter to an animal and often lead to a den of some kind. Like the subsurface tunnels, burrow entrance holes can be measured to gauge the size of what animal might have created it and or currently uses it.
Squirrels, chipmunks, and small birds live in natural burrows. Chipmunks, squirrels, voles, and skunks live in small ground holes, while fox, coyotes, and also skunks live in bigger ground burrows.
Nests are often sleeping quarters or homes for certain small birds or mammals. Shelters are made of natural materials which are often put together using mud by weaving or pilling material. Many nests made by smaller mammals are generally found in a burrow and are out of sight. The largest nests are the lodges made by beavers, which can be truly impressive at up to 6 feet tall and several meters wide. Some larger mammals create temporary resting or sleeping areas hidden in spots under trees, on hillsides, in shallow caves, or other sheltered spots. These temporary impressions left by the bodies of the animals are known as lays. If a spot is used repeatedly and for long periods of time, it is known as a bed. The shape of the bed can be a useful clue in figuring out the identity of the animal. Scat is animal feces, and it can tell you a lot about the animal that left it. The scat of many animals can help you determine the species that left it. When tracking animals, the details to look for are size, shape, location, and content. All these tell you something about the animal in question. Urine is generally much harder to see, unless it is left on snow or other easily visible substrate.
Pellets are usually from deer and rabbits, whereas mushy and more organic are from bears, and also tubular are from dogs, coyotes, and foxes.
Be a scat of an animal that was eating berries, probably relatively fresh. Here is some more animal scat. There looks like there's some more seed and fur mass in here, so it's probably an omnivore of some sort.
Like scat, urine plays a crucial role in communication for many mammals. It is sometimes, but not always, deposited with scat. When it comes to identifying urine, your sense of smell is your greatest ally.
These were the paw prints that were around some of the scat. The paw prints were bigger from a regular dog, so it could possibly be from a coyote.
While tracking animals, sometimes the sign we find is not on the ground, but on or in the surface of a plant. This includes bite or scratch marks in the bark, on leaves or on twigs. The size of a bite taken out of a leaf or twig can help you identify the animal. Also, the quality of the edge of the bite mark can tell you, for instance, it's a rodent, deer, or carnivore. Some mammals, such as members of the deer family, will also create rubs using their antlers, and in some species with their teeth. These marks are left by the bucks for the purpose of scent marking. Another thing to look for when tracking animals is bones. Bones can be very useful for identifying the animal in question, especially when you're given a skull. A good place to look for small bones is in cough pellets. These cough pellets will often include fur, feathers, scales, insect carapaces, and bone fragments. Feathers are a common animal sign, found in almost all different wildlife habitats, including urban areas. When relatively intact, many feathers can be used to identify a specific group of birds, even down to the species level. Feathers can also reveal what part of birds they came from how they're used on the body, what kinds of flight are possible using that particular shape inside a feather. Kill sites are the feeding remains of carnivorous animals such as birds of prey, weasels, wild cats, wild dogs, bears, and other predators. The manner in which the animal is consumed, the type of animal being consumed, the location of the kill site, and any other associated signs such as tracks, scat, can also reveal the identity of the killer. On a kill site, the body of a larger animal may be visited by several smaller animals that did not kill the animal itself. A kill site is a food bonanza that cannot be easily passed up, and even small birds such as chickadees may briefly feed on the remains of a dead deer. Nothing is wasted in the natural world.